I am an atheist because there isn't a known religion that makes any sense. Being an atheist does not mean that you are completely ruling out all possibilities of a God, but that you see the faults in the already existing religions and you just aren't buying into their bullshit. People like Shock of God, or I'm sure there's other Christians that have done this, but they always pose questions. His specifically, it was like his whole channel was this is what he wanted to do with his channel, and that was it. And he just wanted to pose a question, something like prove that atheism is true and accurate, or I don't know, something stupid like that. And that's ridiculous. You can't prove atheism. Atheism isn't a positive statement. It isn't saying there is no God. It's just an idea. It's just like these religions make no sense, therefore I'm not going to believe in them. How can you be attacked for simply not believing in, and like it should be the opposite way around. Shock of God should not try to convince atheists to be Christians by showing the world that atheists can't prove their own beliefs or disbeliefs in this case. But many atheists, tons of atheists, made videos explaining to him. Not even just like people like me who are just sitting at home and make videos, but I mean there was people on the radio that he showed and a ton of stuff like that. And they tried to to tell him what I just said about you can't prove that atheism, it's not something that you can prove. You just can't do it. But being the dick he is, he would just say that, oh, it was another victory for Christianity, and another atheist can't answer my great question. Ha 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 ha. Well, fuck that. Fuck him. He's a fucking retard. It's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've heard. And, The Amazing Atheist sums up God pretty well, and especially in his Whence Cometh Evil video. He really, showed what God truly is about. Which, actually, I want to name my band Whence Cometh Evil, but that name's already taken by some other band. I don't know. They're not really, popular. They're not like, oh, I'm going to go see Whence Cometh Evil, like that. But, they maybe have like 1,000 fans or something. But, also, I hate agnostics. They are stupid. Basically, an agnostic, if you don't already know, which I'm sure you do, but if you don't, basically are people who say that the real, what it actually, like what people would say that an agnostic is someone who can't say definitively whether or not God exists. They just can't, they just don't know. They're just like, I don't know. I'm just going to step back and not decide. Like, no, that's basically being an atheist. I mean, there's not much of a difference there. The only difference is you call yourself an agnostic when you know that your religion is wrong, but you still think that there is a God, and he's going to be pissed off that you don't believe in him. That's pretty much all it is. So, being an atheist truly is the way of logic. Even if, in some stupid-ass chance that God actually does exist, why would he punish you for living your life for yourself? And not living your life for someone who doesn't call or write. He doesn't contact anyone ever. Anyone who says he does has psychological problems. And they're always the same with exorcisms. They always say, oh, well, God has to be real because there's demons and there's exorcisms. Well, no, these people have psychological disorders. I don't know exactly what psychological disorders specifically, but they definitely have. They have to have some. There's also people who actually do give, like, I think it's like 10 or maybe I think it's 10% of their earnings in their life to their church. Think about how ridiculous that is. 10 per fucking cent of their earnings goes to their church. That's the stupidest shit ever. And, I didn't realize how dumb that was before, like a while ago, because, a lot of people in my community do that. And, I respect the people here. When they believe in something or when they like something, they really show it. And I like that about them. But they kind of believe in things blindly, really blindly. And it's sad. And me and one of my friends, we were in the car, and we found a Christian radio station, and this radio station was the stupidest thing ever. The guy was like just one specific. I've only listened to it like maybe 5 times, and most of the times it was like a bunch of ads about like it didn't even matter what the ad was. I'll get back to what I was just talking about, but the ads. It'd be like a dentist, and then it'd be like, "You're a Christian who needs dental work, so come here." It's like, what the hell does that have to do with your religion? That makes no sense. But anyways, one of the guys, they have like different, Christian preachers and whatever else come in and talk to people, and sometimes they'll talk about like men and women and a bunch of stuff like that. But this one they were talking about money and how much more important wisdom is over money. So I get that. Having someone who has smarts, who you can have a conversation with that is meaningful, and you actually like, oh, I learned something today, like that, is way better than if you just have some idiot friend who has a ton of money or whatever, which really wouldn't make any sense. But if he's an idiot, then how the hell would he have made any money? But the specific example that the guy gave, he's like, if you have a homeless man who has tons of wisdom, and you have a rich guy who doesn't, who's dumb, then you're obviously going to take the homeless guy with wisdom. Well, first of all, if the guy has wisdom, the homeless guy, he's sitting there and he has all these good ideas, and he's so smart. Why the hell is he a fucking homeless guy? It's not that hard to have a home, like a cheap ass apartment is pretty easy to get. I mean, you can work like a minimum wage and pretty much pay for that. But whatever, he can do whatever he wants. And then how the hell did the dumb guy get rich? I don't really see how that's possible. I mean, unless he won the lottery, but how many people do you know that have won the lottery? Do you know a lot? Because I don't know any. But anyways, then right after they talk about, this is the same guy still talking about how wisdom is worth so much more than money, and it so much would rather have a guy with substance and he could talk to you and it would be nice over money. Money is not important. Then he goes on to say that you need to give your money to your church. You need to give 10% or whatever it is to your church. So the point is, if you're a Christian or a Muslim or you're Jewish or whatever you are, it doesn't even matter, any religion, why not just live your life for you? Why not just do you and don't fucking worry about, all the Catholic shit and going to church all the time, or if you're a Muslim, all the weird prayers like in the morning and the evening and all those things like that. Why not just not do that, Why not just live your fucking life and accept that shit happens all the time, Don't think God's going to help you and if your grandma or your dad or your sister or your whatever gets cancer, Oh, speaking of things like that, there's a guy who is in my, community, and he is a quadriplegic. And what happened to him was he was with his kids in his pool, and he was going to like dive into the pool, and there was like a like a raft in the water, and I think it was and maybe they had a diving board. I'm not really sure, but the point is he jumped into the water over. I think he went like over the raft thing, and he like fucked up his spine and almost died in the water. Luckily his wife saw and came and got him, and that was nice and everything. They got him to the hospital, and they do all these things, and they basically said he's not going to be able to move anything like ever again. Well, so they went ahead and they, did the whole physical therapy thing, and they tried that, and it worked pretty well. I mean, he obviously can't walk and he can't really move, but he can at least, he can kind of like move his arms and stuff and his fingers. Like, he's not completely immobile as far as that. He still drives. He has this van that's all set up all crazy, and he figured out how to type. He has to do this weird thing. I don't know. But he started this thing where he would like email people, like you can ask him, and then he'll send you like these weekly or daily or however often he wants. I'm not really sure. Like updates about his life, whatever he's doing, he'll just like type up this little thing and then send it to you. So he wrote a book, and I thought that I didn't know anything about it, and like I didn't know what the book was about, or I figured it was about obviously his whole situation, because what else would he write about? Because that's all he does is just sit there and be in a wheelchair all the time. But he wrote a book, and it turns out he took all the emails and stuff that he sent and just put them all in one big thing, and then printed that, got that all in book form, and then got it published. And I thought, you know what, I'd like to read it. And so he brought it into the hospital where my mom works, and then she gave it to me, and they all decided that I should read it first. I read a lot of books and stuff. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. I did want to read it. So I start reading it, and the guy, like, everything in his life is like, it's all about God. I mean, I don't know if he was that religious before the accident happened, but it's afterwards, it's like the only reason why he's able to move, and the only reason why he's able to do anything is because of God, which is ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. Think about that. I mean, they go through this whole fucking system of physical therapy and everything, and then he's just gonna be like, oh, God did this whole thing. I didn't do shit. It was all God. The people for months or years or however fucking long it was, no one was helping me. I did that all, because of God. That was all God. God did the whole goddamn thing. Well, fuck that. Fuck him. That's ridiculous. I stopped reading that book in like 20 pages. I couldn't take it. Like the first section had to do with like God and stuff. Like I guess he wanted to really just throw it out there so you know what the book's gonna be about for the rest of it. And I didn't think of that at first, but then I read on, and like I read maybe like 7-8 passages. They were like little paragraphs like that long, and or maybe longer. I don't know. Some of them were longer, some of them were shorter. But I read that and I couldn't take it. It was just no way. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.